You doing the intro?
Definitely. There is no intro. This is part 2.
Oh, okay.
And then after this, part 3. Part 2 to EL Disciplines book evolution. And we're going to start off, ladies. Ladies, I've had plenty of my own female friends come and ask me, this is your partner. You've seen him through 7 books. Which one should I read? And I always ask them, well, what are you looking for? Are you looking for, excitement? Because he has all genres. The main, the main factor in all his books, except for the importance of discipline,
Yeah.
is erotica.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, well, what do you want? You know, do you want sci-fi? Do you want action adventure? Like, what do you want? She was like, I want the sex.
I'll be right back. Keep going.
This one- right when I'm getting good. So I'm like, you want like, all right, like that nice sex, even though there isn't any of those. And most of my girlfriends are like, no, we want the dirtiest sex. Well, ladies and the gentlemen, I don't know if you want to be in on this, but this one right here, Discipline's world is nonstop from the gate, from the word go, sex.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
yes.
So ladies,
Non-stop.
when you do get the book, don't drink while you're reading it, don't smoke while you're reading it, and don't read it with somebody in in the same room. Unless, then it's a plus.
Yeah, I mean,
Mr.
just
Mr. Eel Discipline's world. What?
discipline's
What?
world, my world.
Mm.
So here's the thing: in the seduction of discipline, I have a couple of stories in there. Now, the fictional character is Mia, which is like myself, but is a fictional character. Mia, I discipline, and then as myself, which is a fictional character, and then I have Mia, um, who's just somebody I made up. She's in 35 part 1 we talked about her vow. Now she's making a vow of like a promise. Like she wants to be in the lifestyle. She wants to be a sub to him.
Oh, we're
So
talking about in the book.
yeah, so
In the
now
first book.
I've
Okay.
taken those two characters and I created a novel. This is the first novel out of all the
Oh.
books. This is the first novel. So it's not like education on the lifestyle. It's
So,
actually a
what
novel.
made you say, you know what? I wrote an autobiography.
Challenged myself because I wanted to see if I could write novels. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I made an autobiography. I made it education about the lifestyle, BDSM, and there's a few stories in there. How far can I go with this?
Right. So, how big can you make a story?
Yeah.
Because
So,
you were doing this, you were writing little, stories, little snippets in your captions back in the
hmm
day in your
yeah.
in your very one of the first ones you
Yeah,
had.
like what happened is I would see a meme, right? And it's just like art. You just create the plot, you create the story with that. Like if I saw a meme of a man, maybe he grabbed the woman, pushed up against the wall, her breasts are pressed up against the wall, and he's he curls it inward and grabs her hair
Mm-hmm.
and pulls it towards him, and now her head is back towards him and he's whispering in her ear. A image like that. Now I put my
Your spin on it.
yeah, it's almost like what are these characters? What are they talking about? I put the screenplay, like the
Mm.
script in effect now. So now I'm envisioning how it would play out. You know what I'm saying? I've always done that. Most
Mm.
people could go back and if they see certain memes or images like that and then they see the caption, it's like I'm now telling a story, but of
Yes.
what
Mm-hmm.
the photo is. So I've done the same thing with this except not adding photo.
Right. Was
I
that hard for
painted the
you?
photos in my head.
So, without having
Not hard because it's like sex is not hard to write. A lot 65% of the stuff I've written in Discipline's World I've done.
okay.
So it's not hard. This is
No,
the
no,
this let
no.
me tell you
It's
this
not hard to come up with the idea, I'm assuming, but to put it down and
no,
describe, okay.
no. The difference between myself and E.L. James, E.L. James wrote 50 Shades. I've never read any of her books. Um not because I have anything against her. It just never interests me.
Mhm.
Um, because I just thought it's weird. I just think it's weird as um people are gonna take this the wrong way, but I'm gonna say it anyways because I don't care. I just think it's weird if women are writing erotica versus men
Mm.
because a woman could say, and okay. Let me say what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna get back into it. I'm different from El James and Zayn. They're women. I'm a man. That's number one. Number two, I live this lifestyle. They probably never did. They probably never experienced this. This is a fantasy. Remember? Oh, and I'm gonna say remember. I'm gonna educate you. You probably don't know this, but El James got the idea from Twilight Saga. You know what Twilight is?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. So you have vampire fantasies or whatever it is, and now you made 50 Shades.
Interesting.
Okay. So that's number one. Number two, let me get back to what I was gonna say. Why I feel like women could write it, but it's not as intense as a man because of this. You can write what you want done to you. Not everybody's gonna connect with that.
That's true.
Because a woman who is a masochist may not like how you describing him to be dominant. A feminist who's about equality, oh, why can't I dominate him? She's probably not gonna like that. She'll like it because, oh yeah, a woman wrote it.
Mhm.
Yes, women empowerment, a woman wrote it. But she might look at it like, I don't want to be dominated by a man. Why can't I dominate him? She's not going to connect with that. Now, here's the difference. When you have a man not only live this lifestyle who has done it, but a man who talks about dominating a woman, now any woman can put herself in that position because of how the man is describing it.
How he's gonna
Whether
dominate her.
she's dominant, whether she's a feminist, whether she's whatever it is,
Mm.
because he's describing how he is. Now, the woman can describe, oh, he was this big, he thrusted like this. She's still gonna talk about what she likes. Not everybody likes it rough. You gotta learn that about women. Not every
Mhm.
woman likes it rough. Not every woman likes, uh, um, foreplay. Some women just wanna, I'm coming through the door, rip my shirt, rip my clothes off, fuck me rough. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the book is. I'm throwing darts in the dark, trying to hit the bullseye. I
Okay.
don't know I never read the books.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that when a woman can write erotica, she only can write with or connect with what she can connect with. Just like a woman saying all women are this way. No, all women are not this way. Do you date women? No. So you can't say all women are this way. You can say how you are. But if a man says most women are this way or all women are this way, it kind of makes sense because he dates women. He probably studies women. He probably dated women.
I
He
mean,
probably interacted with women.
I think you do that. I
But
don't know if all guys do
it
that.
doesn't matter. I'm just saying that a man can do that versus a woman. A woman can talk about, oh, not all women like a big dick. Speak for yourself. You
That's true.
understand?
No, no, I
That's what I
understand.
mean.
I'm just saying that,
That's what I mean.
like, as an author, though, I'm assuming, I read the books. I read the 50 Shades of Grey, and then the other two that came after that I don't even know what the names are. Um, and I think the one downfall that a woman writer might do is that she puts too much love in it, like too much lovey stuff in it. So towards the end,
That's
like
just
second and
that's
third,
just
that's
you.
yeah.
You know what
So
I'm
so the
saying?
second and third book is like, okay, who cares about this? But
Yeah.
but she has, I mean, she's an author too. She has those creative things going on there.
Yeah, but that's
Not like this,
like I
though.
said, that's you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You don't like that. If you're witnessing something just like another woman out there could think like you, if you're witnessing something that is unusual, that is not the norm, then I want the best out of it. If this life gives me brutal sex, I don't want to see them kissing. I don't want to see them fall in love. Give me that brutal sex. Yeah,
mm,
there's women out there who think like that, but
mm-hmm,
it's just like I stated. Think for yourself. You could only
mm-hmm.
say that for yourself. But when a guy is staying how he is, you know how many women out there want to understand men? That's the difference. That's the
Men don't
difference.
want to understand women. What's the difference?
There's a lot more women out there who want to understand men than men want to understand women.
Mm,
I told you, most men are visual creatures. Most men have all men have bigger brains than women, but women use it more efficiently. That means women could be more observant. Women could be more dissecting things. Women could be more critical thinkers, analytic thinkers. A lot of men won't even care. Just like we stated in the bonus episode, the dick variety. I said a man could go in the club and see a woman, right? Ass, whatever it is. He's thinking of penetration. He's not thinking, damn, is her nipples pierced? Damn, if she got a tight pussy. He's thinking big butt, whatever, how that shit gonna look doggy. A woman might say, he looks chocolate or he vanilla. He's in a tailored suit. Can he do this? How big is his dick? Can he talk his way into the bedroom? Can he do this? You see how women are doing this?
I think
Maybe not you, but you see how women are doing this?
mm,
They may not be visual creatures. A man is a visual creature by nature, but a woman could see, oh, he looks good, but what can he provide me? Can he provide good sex? Does he have a big dick? She's dissecting more than a man.
all right. Let's get into this one though, because this one is. Is it bad to say that this one's my favorite? Because the sex ladies, I'm telling you, chapter one,
Mm.
her new life. Let me start off with
That's the continuation from
from when she gives her
35,
vow.
her vow, yeah. So now
Oh.
that one is about okay, this is your new life now. You want to be a submissive, this is what comes with it. And that's
Mm.
that. Two responsibilities, those coincide. Now he's getting into the responsibilities.
All right, chapter three, my queen, my slut, my bitch, my good girl.
That's
My God, that
yeah, that's
title right
something
there.
that's said in there in the,
That what he
the
says to
literary
her
content. Yeah.
is so. I know you're trying to rush through this one, but my queen, my slut, my bitch, my good girl. Those are all
He's
loving terms.
yes, but in there in that chapter, he's explaining that you're gonna be more transformative than I am. He's
Mm.
explaining that.
You're gonna be all these things to me.
Yes, you're gonna be
Gotcha.
more transformative than I am. That means because in there she's a doctor, so she runs things.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come home, you're submissive. So he's explaining that to her. Like you could be dominating your day, but you have to wear many different hats. So that's why when he said, "You're my queen," when we go out in public, we hold hands, blah blah blah.
Gotcha.
You're my slut in private.
Okay.
You're my what
Bitch.
else, bitch? In private or when we might have a sadist masochist moment.
Okay.
You're my what else?
Good girl.
Good girl. That means
That's always.
yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's just explaining all these things while he's saying this is all these things you're gonna be for me, and he's saying when or whatever it is.
All right. Chapter four. Fuck you here. Fuck you there. Fuck you anywhere.
Yeah.
Jesus. And
Uh
ladies, did I lie to you? Not yet.
um that one is going through a series of places they're fucking. He was getting
Oh
head he was getting
yes.
head in the car when he
The
was
tree.
driving. They tied her up in the tree.
You didn't
Um
have to add that part in. I just said the tree.
um
That would have been like,
the
what?
museum, all of that stuff. I think
Library?
maybe the
No. The
restaurant
library
bathroom.
was in the first one, right? In the first book?
No, the library is further down. I know which one
Oh.
that one is.
Chapter 5. Kiss you like I miss you. Fuck you like I hate you.
Yeah.
My
Now
God.
now I named that chapter that way because I think about how how you would feel if she was like your unbridled lust. If you haven't seen her in weeks, maybe a month, how would you feel?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So I go into depth with that. That's also I think they met, he pushed up against the wall and they started, you know what I'm saying?
going
So I
at it.
think that's what that is.
Chapter 6. On your knees.
Yes. All of these things are said except for a couple of them.
So
So
this
that
is what he tells
yeah,
her.
that one is he's saying that he talks about how kneeling is profound. It is surest display of submission. He says when you're in my presence, you'll always be on your knees. I just yeah.
Chapter 7. Crawl to daddy, beautiful girl.
Yeah, so those coincide. So after the
That
knees
makes
thing,
sense.
then he's like
Crawl
he
to
says
me.
that, yeah.
I want it nasty and sloppy.
That's what he says. Yeah. So
Sloppy
now
Joe.
that now
Dinner
now
is he talking about? Who knows? Bend
Polish.
over now. Can we like read like little
What is it?
excerpts? Bend over now.
No, I'm not reading any
No,
excerpts because it's just too much. You know what I'm saying?
too much. I'm just gonna go
Bend over
straight
now.
through,
This is during the sex.
face down, ass up, and shut the fuck up.
That one is the library one.
That's chapter 10. Oh, yeah. Now I
Mhm.
remember. 11 is my world.
Mhm.
Well, now that one you have to give a little something, something to
That one is he's just going more in depth of when he
what he expects of her.
yeah,
Okay.
just like in the Seduction of Discipline,
Mm-hmm.
the prequel
Mm-hmm.
when he's saying what he's saying he's talking
Like
about
what his rules are.
yeah, but he's going into more in depth.
Okay. Strip or I will rip them off you.
Mm, same
My
thing.
goodness.
That one is that's something he says in there.
Chapter 13. She finds peace in my chaos.
That's during sex.
Is his sex chaos? Is that what that title is for?
Yeah, it's brutal, but
Oh,
it
brutal.
it works
Jesus.
because they go together. It's just like his chaos is perhaps choking and she finds peace in that. His chaos, his lifestyle is crazy, but it works for her.
Okay. Chapter 14. Her dominant, his submissive.
Yeah, so
That's
that's a
just
story. That's a story. Um his dominant, his submissive. I think
her dominant, his
her
submissive. So
dominant, his submissive. That I mean it's all of story that is like a pieces to the
to the
puzzle,
puzzle.
but there's a scene in there where she's she's at work and she's in the office and he's like, "Oh, I'm coming to see you." Now there's a whole bunch of nurses outside that needs her attention, but they lock the door and they have sex in her office. And then she's like, they're like, "Oh, they're knocking on the door," and she's like, "I'm coming." Like she's really coming,
Literally.
literally. And she's like, I'm coming.
That is a funny one.
Yeah.
15. My control is her escape. Her desire becomes her surrender.
Yes. That's not something that's said in there, but it's I think it's a gesture or they're having sex again. Now, there's a part
Again, people.
yeah, because I don't remember. I remember the story. It's just I don't remember what
Like the
different
order.
chapter. Yeah,
Mm,
there's a scene in there where he's like, after they had sex, he's like, "Run my bath." Now she's running the bath. They get in there together and they have sex. Like they have like a round two in there.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what chapter
Right.
these
Which
things
one
are.
is
I
it?
remember the whole story though.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
sex and there's 20 chapters. So, um, her body calls for me. That's chapter 16.
Hmm.
Chapter 17. Fuck her so good she's wet thinking about it the next day.
Yes, that one.
Ladies, now I know we've all have been
That
through
one I
that.
like because when she was at her desk, she she's saying that she's thinking of him and she's texting him or whatever, and now she's like, I'm so horny right now. I wanna touch myself. Can I? And
Mm,
he says, yes, she will. She runs to the bathroom and she does that. And he's like, send me a video. You know what I'm saying? So that's that scene.
mm. Chapter 18. Daddy, can we keep her? Is it a puppy? Just
No,
kidding. I know because I read this book a million times.
that's a poly scene. They both meet someone and then they
Oh,
engage together.
and that one comes into the next book. Right.
Mm.
Yeah. Number chapter 19. Good girl, dirty mouth. Why'd I wink at that?
Yeah,
Why'd I wink at that?
that is a sex scene.
Jesus. The whole book is one giant sex scene.
Well, it is, but
It's very good though.
there's certain parts where um roses were sent to her office. It wasn't by him. It was a crazy ex.
Oh yeah, I remember
Remember?
that. Yeah.
And then there was trouble. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
give shit
Yeah.
away,
No,
but you know what
no,
I'm saying?
damn.
It wasn't
How did you come up with that? Like
because
what made you
I
in
said to
put
myself
that in
that
there?
that I envision this as being a movie also. Every time of sex now it becomes like porn. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And it's like you can't like every single chapter,
Right.
they're just like, "Oh, I'm meeting you here. I'm gonna fuck you. Oh, meet me here. We're gonna fuck." No, I wanted to add different things. I wanted to make it real. They have regular jobs.
Mhm.
They do this. They're different. They're vanilla outside of their um
Their
their
relationship.
relationship.
So
So
let
I
me
wanted
ask
to
you this, being that I asked you with the first book, how did you get, is this that idea to have a crazy ex, stalker? Has that happened to you with, let's say, someone that you were talking to? Did they have a crazy ex? Did you have a crazy ex that stalked you? Like, how did you come up with that? Or is that just pure imagination on your part?
I've heard things from women.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I've heard things when women be like, "Oh man, this guy, he's so crazy. He doesn't leave me alone. He drives by my house, or he um he stalks my
My job.
pages.
Oh, okay.
He something he calls me all the time. He threatens me. This is that." So I've thought of those things, and I'm like, let me bring this to life.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I've had crazy exes. I'm sure we all have that one
yeah.
crazy ex. I've had crazy exes. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna get into it, but I've pictured how with what those women have said and what has happened to me, and I was like, oh, let me put my
And you
own spin
combined
on
it.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And chapter 20, this is exactly how I want you.
Yeah, that's when he ties her up.
Is that the first time he ties her up?
No, it's not the first time he ties her up, but
That's just his favorite way.
yeah,
Is to tie her up.
there's a um there's a cliffhanger with that one. You know what I'm saying? That now there's a trilogy.
Do you want me to read the cliffhanger?
No, no, no.
Don't.
Mm-mm. I'll just tell
Dang it!
I'll just tell them what it is.
Well, it
There's
obviously has to go
something
with the
happens in
can we
the
keep
end.
her, right? Does it have to do with whoever they
I
kept?
don't know.
Oh,
They're gonna have to
dang.
read it. But
You're good. You're getting good at that because
something
before
happens.
you used to just be like, and you know what else happened?
Something happens in the end, and now
And now this
the
happens.
importance of discipline. Yeah.
By the way, this is the first book that you did the actual cover for, right? Like the posing?
Um.
No, but well, the second one we did it. It was redone.
Well, yeah. The second one was redone. I did that one too. But that one, yeah, that was I think the first model, Marissa Jade.
Yes.
Yeah, Mob Wives season 6.
And
Yeah.
the soft cover has a different image, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People,
AJB Publishing.
shout out
You
to
know,
AJB
AJB
Publishing.
Publishing. Andrea is the CEO. She was able to have her team do two different. So now it's like you want the paperback, it's a whole different
It's a whole different
cover.
cover.
If
Yeah.
you want the hardcover, not only do you get a dust jacket where there's exclusive images, but you get a whole different cover.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I love this
I
cover.
loved both covers and
I
I
love.
couldn't
I love.
decide. So I
I
was
love these covers where you're on it or like the
yeah.
people are on it because I'm like, oh, I know that guy.
Hmm.
Like it makes it like that just that much more.
Yeah, so now
So
the
now
immortality.
let's get into that.
Hmm.
So immortality of discipline. Just give us a quick
Synopsis.
synopsis of the book itself, and then I want to go
Let me see.
into.
Let me see something. Let me see something.
Just put your finger there.
Oh,
Ow.
oh, my bad. Okay. All right. So, in darkness, life can be reborn. A violent and tragic encounter with a woman who is a creature unlike any of this world changes the path of discipline forever. She took everything that mattered from him, creating a fury born of hate and a lust for revenge, making him into the most powerful vampire the world has ever known. Discipline's insatiable hunger causes him to rise to unspeakable heights. Now known as one of the most wealthiest club owners in New York City, his playground is boundless, taking beautiful victims to satisfy his rage and incomparable craving for blood until he meets Cleopatra. We're going to talk about all this.
Mhm.
A sensual and unusual woman that tantalizes his senses and goes far beyond the simple lust for the kill. Discipline will stop at nothing to make her completely his, to forge a bond unlike anything else, and rule a darkness together with power and control. Because if Cleopatra is what discipline desires, she already belongs to him. Now, this is the third book in the Seduction of Discipline book series. Um,
I got
Cleopatra,
it.
I've always thought about Cleopatra, the ancient Egypt,
Mhm.
stuff
They
like
got it.
that. Um, Cleopatra. Now, this is a disclaimer for people out there who don't get the books. There's gonna be a couple of spoilers. She's a witch, so we
Mm.
have to learn all that. She's a witch and stuff.
Now, how did you? We already talked about
Now
you wanted to write a story from the little stories. How did you dive
I wanted
into
a horror.
supernatural?
I wanted a yes. I wanted paranormal. I wanted horror. I wanted to have different genres. And I consider myself the best author in the world, so I was like, I gotta have a horror. If
Mhm.
if it's just at least one, I gotta have one.
Yeah, but
So,
horror and
well,
sci-fi are totally different. You don't. It
they
doesn't
are,
have to be
they
horror
are,
sci-fi.
they are. But that cliffhanger in the end of Discipline's world
Had to.
now,
Gotcha.
it carries on. So
Mhm.
now you get to. Well, we could read everyone,
Oh yeah.
and then
Yeah, we're
I'll
gonna read
I'll
everyone.
go to it. I'll go through it.
All right. Again, 20 chapters. So we'll start with the first one. Chapter 1. Do you not want immortality?
That's something that's said. Now, remember in the synopsis
Mm-hmm.
on the back, a creature like no other. So the creature like no other is a woman.
Okay.
So she changes him. She changes him. And now she's saying to him, "Do you not want immortality?" And she's
Mm.
educating him on vampires don't age. This that.
On all the benefits of
Of the
if of
yes.
he's an immortal. Okay. When hunger takes over.
Yes. This is also her educating him.
Mm.
Because he's saying that, what have you turned me into? I don't want to live like this. And
So
now,
he was upset over it
yeah,
initially.
now she's educating him on, you have to feed, um, you have to be, you have to feed in order to gain your strength. You need human energy.
Mm.
And her ultimate goal is to have him side by side with her. She's attracted to him, but she wants him on the equal plateau. She's a vampire. She turns him into a vampire, and she wants to rule
With her.
together. Yeah.
Mm.
People are probably wondering, like, well, what happened to Mia? Oh, they gotta read Discipline's World.
So this woman isn't Mia, you're saying?
No, she isn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
So
knew that.
now she's educating him on the thirst always wins. The hunger always wins. So no
Mm.
matter how you want to, it's
Fight it, you
yeah,
can't.
it's almost like a lion. Like the lions in the circus, they're trained, they're tranquilized, whatever. They're trained to behave. The moment you don't feed them and they get hungry, they may no longer be your friends. How
Mm.
loyal is a loyal dog? A hungry dog?
That's
It's
true.
almost like that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
We
it
had that question. When did we have that question?
what?
How loyal is a hungry dog?
Maybe loyalty and trust.
Maybe. Chapter 3. The hidden powers of an immortal.
She's still educating him.
So
So
she's just going down the list of, listen,
she's
you can do
edu
this and
she's
this.
educating him on um she's educating him on different vampires have different powers.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what are your powers? So
Now, the powers that
he's
you put in this book,
Mhm.
are these like powers that you would want to have? Like, how did you get these ideas?
Yeah.
These are like, I wish I
We're gonna
had
we're
this
gonna get
power.
into it when you keep reading. Yep. They're gonna learn too.
Chapter 4. Sexual desires enhanced.
Well,
Now, I
that's a
just want to say
vampire.
this,
Yeah.
yes, that I like that this chapter specifically. Like I said, I've read all your books.
Mhm.
I'm your biggest but this one I specifically like because I have seen and read other like sci-fi type books, and they always say that that is it's non-existent, or they can make people fall in love, but they don't have that quality to them.
Mm.
That's why I was like, finally, we have vampires having
Yeah.
sex over here.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good one. Nice touch
Mhm.
on that. Chapter 5. Blood never tasted so good. I'm assuming that he
He
done did his
finally
first one.
he finally gave in.
Damn
Yep.
it. Discipline, right? Yeah,
And
that's
then
his name
that
in there.
coincides with Resurrected. Because after, remember, she said that he needed to feast on human blood and absorb human energy to get strong. So now he's feeling that, and he's just like, wow, look at my powers. I feel so strong. She was right. But also, what's the next one?
Lost at first sight.
okay, so blood never tasted so good. Also, is it has to do with. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not trying to give anything away, but I'm just gonna say the woman that was educating him, she's no longer educating him.
Oh,
That's all I'm gonna say.
okay. Dang it.
Yeah. So now what is it? Lust at first sight?
Lust at first sight. Well, first it was Blood Never Tasted So Good, Resurrected. Just chapter
Yeah.
6. Chapter 7
Now
is
I have
Lust
a
at
note.
First
I had
Sight.
a notebook writing these down before I wrote the literary content. So I'm
What,
writing.
like ideas?
I'm said I'm gonna come up with a table of contents, and I'm writing the chapters. And
Oh,
I'm like, now I have to say to myself, the literary content has to match with the title. So that's gonna give me like a outline. That's gonna
mm,
give me some type of reference to follow.
that's
You know what I'm
amazing.
saying? So that's how I did it. Now, lust at first sight, this came in my mind, love at first sight. But I
Hmm.
thought of a vampire. They're more,
Extra.
extra. So
Everything is always like glamorous.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking lust at first sight.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
That's what that chapter is about.
Chapter 8, Love Bites. Sure does.
Yes. Literally.
Oh, dang. I thought you meant like it sucks.
That's why I said that, because you could look at it like it sucks or it
Or
literally bites.
bites.
And this is when now discipline is going through what's the next one before I say what I'm gonna say.
Chapter 9, Silver Moon Drenched Night.
Okay. So love bites, discipline is going through a rampage now. Of now, like, you tasted something and now you
You
can't get
can't control
enough.
it. Right.
Yes, like I stated, this insatiable hunger. Like now it's like the hunger is taking over. Just like I think chapter two.
When hunger takes over.
Yeah. So what is it? Nine is
Nine was Silver Moon Drenched Night.
Silver Moon Drenched Night. Mm,
I could just imagine what the drenched night part is about.
yeah, that's about sex. But the silver moon, I made it that discipline gets his power from the moon. So when it's a
Mm,
full moon, that's when he's his strongest.
okay.
Yeah.
Chapter 10, Come to the Dark Side.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's
Is
a
somebody telling him that or is he telling somebody
he's
that?
telling somebody that. Hmm.
Why? He thinks that he's in the dark side now?
No, let me explain. Remember in the back, I said that he's well known as a club owner,
Mm-hmm.
wealthiest club owner.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cover. When do clubs open? When did
Right.
it get party?
At night.
When are vampires more active?
Mm. Very good, very
And I
good.
also thought of this because I used to have a lot of insomnia. It's mediocre now, and I think of, well, I'm up at night.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I could be a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
But the cover is the nightlife, because he's a vampire now in a vanilla world.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has to live like vanilla people. How's he gonna make a living? How's he gonna do this? You know what I'm saying? He's still disciplined,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's kind of like, fuck, like I'm this person now. I gotta roll with the punches.
Right.
Now I gotta adapt. So now he goes in the business of the nightlife. Now the nightlife is the cover, because the clubs are open at night. He can hide,
Mm-hmm.
and now he could kind of camouflage from the vanilla people.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I thought of that. Cause
Chapter.
it would be like I thought of different things. Should I make him like a teacher? But that's during the day. Should I make him like a, you know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
thought of all these things, and I was like, wait, the club would be
Perfect.
ideal.
Yeah. Chapter 11, Psychological Bondage.
Yes. Now we're getting into the chapters I love. That's what I would want. Mind reading. Now, psychological bondage is when he goes into business with this woman named Susan. Now, when I was thinking of character names and Susan came up, I thought about you. Like, what would your name be in English? It's Suhey. Like in Spanish, you pronounce J with a ha. There's people out there who call you Sujay.
Yeah.
They have text me like, or I'll call them. Well, Sue J. I'm like Suhey.
Yeah.
You
I
understand?
stopped correcting people.
Yeah. So like, but short is Sue,
Mm-hmm.
and for Susan, short is Sue.
Correct.
So I kind of thought of it like, oh,
I'm in
let
the
me
book.
make let
I'm
me
in the
make
book.
Susan. Susan is his business partner that he got into for the venues. So now something happened in the club that I don't remember too much. It could have been tragic or something. where there's police involved, and
Oh, I remember.
police was saying that this place might have to shut down or whatever. She comes into his office and she says, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she says, "I don't know if I want to do business. I don't know if I want to
Mm.
continue with this. Like, it's too nerve wracking." And now this is when he starts using his powers. He says, "Look me in my eyes." When she looks him in his eyes, he starts saying, "You will do business." He's hypnotizing her.
Okay.
You will do this. And as a matter of fact, we're gonna expand. We're talking international. We're talking Hong Kong. We're talking London. And then he snaps his fingers. Then he just nonchalant. What were you saying? She's like, brushes it off, like, I just feel something weird overcoming. And then he says, "Are you okay?" She's like, I have this idea to want to continue to do business. No matter what the situation is, we'll get through it together. But I'm also thinking about expanding. What do you think of
You would like that power, wouldn't
She's
you?
like, "What do you think about Hong Kong?" And he's smirking because he's doing what she's saying what he
What he
wanted her to
said, right?
say.
What he told her.
Yeah. So
Wait,
that
you just skipped one. Psychological bondage, and then 12 was look me in my eyes.
look me in my eyes is not does not coincide with that. Look me in my eyes is with the female officer. So now, oh yeah, something happens.
Stuff
Something
do happen.
happens where discipline kind of plays a vigilante.
Oh,
That's all
really?
I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So now now he's driving fast. Cops stop him because he's driving fast.
Fast.
Cops say, there was some unusual activity around here.
Mm.
She notices that there's some blood on
His
his collar, but she doesn't know what that is. It looks like blood, but you don't know.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So now she's like, "What is this?" Now he puts his powers into
Hmm.
effect again. He looks at her and look me in my eyes. She's looking. He starts telling her things about how would you feel if a man touched you? Have you ever been with a man before? This, that. I want to just grope you, touch you. How he's explaining how he would
Do the
dominate her or
right.
have sex with her, and she's just like, hmm. You
Falling into
googly
it.
like yes, googly eyes type of shit. And now he's while he's doing that, he's working on his eyes turn gold, he exposes his fangs, and he's working on her neck now. He's putting his mouth towards her neck because she has her head to the side and she's in dream
Like in a
world.
trance.
Yes, exactly. In a trance. So now he's like he's like 2 inches from biting her neck, sinking his teeth into her neck per se, and her radio goes off, and that's what saves her life.
Wait, I know I can't even ask
Something
this
like
question.
ten
What
four
happens?
activity, blah 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 blah. Now that snaps her out of the trance, and she says, you know what? I gotta take care of this. There's been some activity out there. Everything is clean. I don't need your registration or anything like that. Just drive safe. But and she just
Oh,
forgets
good.
about it because
Okay,
she
good.
has to go take care of
I thought that
business.
she would that would have been like,
Now he speeds off.
why
Um,
does he keep
Now
speeding?
people need to pay attention to that female officer. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Chapter 13. Take and devour her innocence. I gotta ask you a question. I can reading all the other ones, I can see, how you came up with those, but take and devour her innocence.
Yes.
Where did you come up? How did you come up with that title? Is that what you do? You taking people's innocence?
Well, I look at like Adam and Eve, the story of Adam and Eve, and
Okay.
I'm kind of looking at it like a woman's pussy is like her flower. That's like her
There's some girls calling
innocence.
that
You know what I'm
women.
saying? That's like her innocence. And he's supposed to be a savage vampire. He's not a nice guy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So he's not thinking, you
He
know,
he turned like that because of what he discovered, no?
what
Being
happened?
savage, right.
What
Right,
happened? They gotta read
right,
Discipline's World.
right. But that's why he becomes so savage, no? Okay.
Yes, yes. So take and devour her innocence is something that he's thinking, and this is like he's on the prowl.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? What's the next one?
Chapter 14. Are you going to invite me in?
Yes, I talked about this in
Yes.
Loyalty and Trust,
Mhm.
the story of vampires.
Mhm.
Now, This scene is okay. I'm gonna explain it. He meets this woman at Victoria's Secret. He bumps into her purposely. Now I don't remember this rigorously. This was like 3 years ago when
I
when I
remember
wrote it.
this scene actually.
Yeah, he bumps into her. He he um he bumps into her purposely. He knocks his business card on the ground and knocks her stuff out of her purse. Now they're both picking up shit. He's helping her. Now she takes his business card. Oh, you own nightclubs. This is part of his plan. He wanted
Mm-hmm.
this. Um, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're fond of clubs." Now he already knows this because he could
Mm-hmm.
read people's
Mm-hmm.
minds. Yeah, me and my girls, blah blah blah. We go out, this that, and it was like Queens or something. He's like, "Oh, it's right around where I am, where your clubs are." So, "Oh, you should come by." But I felt like this woman found out a secret about him pertaining to
Mm.
the vampire, so he had to take care of her so his secret doesn't come out.
Gotcha.
Now, as
Which
as a vampire,
which comes into chapter
so
15.
now this is what he does. This is the psychological shit that he does. He stole something out of her purse.
Mm-hmm.
He stole her ID.
I know.
And I have to say this because people are, this is why I did this. Even though this is fictional, I wanted people to be like, how did he get to the house? Even though
Mm.
he could read people's mind, but how did he get to the, I wanted to give him a reason because
Mm-hmm.
this shit could really happen.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's
Scary.
fiction. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought about this, I rewrote it, erased, rewrote it. How would this turn out? He stole her license. Now he also has telekinesis and he's fast, blink of
Yes.
an eye.
Mm-hmm.
So he could take something you won't even notice because you're a human.
Mm-hmm.
So now, oh by whatever, he's scanning with his eyes
ID.
of her ID. Now I have an eidetic memory. So I can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember shit 15 years ago, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But I could look at it for a minute, boom, I remember it forever.
Mm.
So I put my mind in that circumstance. He scans her ID. That's all he needed. Ripped it up, whatever. Oh no, sorry, he doesn't rip it up. My bad, because I'm gonna tell you. They invite me in. Now he waits for her, no, go home, whatever. He does. He's also transformative. This same girl, he follows her to meet the other girl at a cafe. To meet, oh, this guy. She knows his real name in the business
Oh
card.
yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
And she tells the girl,
Her girlfriend.
your girlfriend, yeah, he had to get rid of both of them because he didn't want his secrets to get out. But he tells the girl his real name. Oh, check this, blah, blah, blah. He's a bee. He turns into a bee to be like you know how
To
people say, "I
follow.
wish I could be a fly on the wall to
Mm-hmm.
hear this shit." Yes, so he sneaks in underneath the cracks of the cafe, flies above them. So now you don't even notice what's going on because there's a bee. He's listening to everything.
Right.
So now, oh yeah, girl, bye, whatever. She goes home. He follows her as the bee. Now he goes into the bushes, turns back into human form,
Mm-hmm.
but vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Knocks on her door. Hey, aren't you the guy I saw earlier? Yeah. Now she says, oh, that's great. You know, I'm gonna come to your club. I was telling my girl about it, and she's wondering, wait a minute. How do you even know where I live? And he's like, oh yeah, it almost skipped my mind. Here's your ID. Your address is on here.
Mm. That was a
You
good one.
dropped it. She's like, oh, now everything is good. He says to her, he starts using his hypnotic
Mm-hmm.
ability. Look into my eyes. Are you gonna invite me in? And she says, she snaps out of it. Do you want to come in for some tea?
Mm. Chapter 15. Patiently waits to ravage her body.
Same.
Same scene.
Mhm.
Chapter 16. Love her to
It
death.
continues. Love her to death. Now, Cleopatra, I gotta give this. I'm not giving everything away, but I gotta give some parts.
Okay.
Cleopatra had met Discipline in the club. Now, she was supposed to set him up,
Oh.
okay? And that's all I'm saying for that circumstance. Now, being that she started falling for Discipline, she said to whoever it was, they got to read the book, I don't want to do this anymore.
Mm.
Why? It's immorally wrong. She's lying. She's not trying to tell the person I
That she's
fell for him.
right.
So now they're like, if you don't do this, your son, I'm gonna take care of them. So now she's in a bind.
Mm.
She tells Discipline to meet her at the woods, and now there's a circumstance where now she is losing blood,
Mhm.
and he's saying, she knows who I am because I told her, and I know she's a witch because she told me, and she doesn't want to be what I
Spoiler
am.
alert. Mhm.
But it's either I abide by what she said, or I can turn her and save her life. And he's thinking she got a son, but she told me she doesn't want to do this. Let her die. Now the vampire's having a heart.
Mm.
Mm. He's just like,
What would you have done?
now he slits his wrist. He bites her. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I believe I called it love her to death because
Well, because she's dying.
yeah, but
Literally.
he's sinking his teeth into her. So now he's killing her and she's
Mm.
reborn a new woman.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That was that circumstance. But a man who could give you his life for you, a man who could give his blood for you, that's a different type of love.
Mhm.
But in that circumstance, he felt like he owed her because she did something. It was supposed to be him, but
Mm.
she,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when a woman loves you, it's almost boundless when it
Mm.
comes to the things she'll do.
Clearly,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
guys got to
So
read the
that
book.
was that one.
Chapter 17, A Twist of Fate.
Yeah. I mean, I can't talk about that without giving shit away.
You guys just have to get this book.
Yeah.
Chapter 18, Hunt or Be Hunted. Who is saying, is that
That's
words that are
something
being
that's
said?
saying, yeah,
Is he saying it or is somebody saying it to him?
he's saying it.
Okay. 19, Eternal Love is Powerful.
Hmm.
That's just,
I
it's
just think
in the chapter
chapter.
title. Eternal Love is Powerful. Come on,
Yeah.
people. It's not that hard to get it.
Yeah.
Come on, use your brain. And the last chapter, chapter 20, You Belong to Me Forever.
Literally.
Serious.
Hmm.
This book, I'm telling you, ladies,
Yeah.
if you want just straight sex, with, I mean, it's a good story, but straight
Hmm.
sex,
It's a good
it's
storyline
very
too.
good
And
story.
there's different, like I said, when you meet certain people, don't sleep on them.
Mm-hmm.
Certain
100%.
circumstances that happen could be a foreshadow. You know what I'm saying? Like I do that purposely. Like I'm a fan of the Saws sagas, how they have shit in the beginning and
Mm-hmm.
then towards the end it's kind of like, oh shit, everything
Yes,
connected.
yes. I
So
like that too about that movie.
yeah.
I also like that it's gory, but which I was this book, you know, I love I'm not a sci-fi person, but vampires,
Hmm.
werewolves, love that crap.
Yeah.
I love gory shit. So this book,
Mm.
as much as it has sex, it
Yeah.
has a story,
Yeah.
it has gory shit, it's very good.
Yeah.
All right. So that's part two, because we still have three more books that we have to
Oh
do.
yeah. So that was it.
Yeah, you want to
Okay.
keep going. These have to be separate.
All
They
right.
have
Part
to.
three.